Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Sunday the 30th of November 2025. In today's Mill news, it was announced today that Billy Bonds has passed away, former Millwall manager, although I'm sure that that's not on the headlines of his career or his life achievements, but he was a Millwall manager. Everyone at Millwall was deeply saddened to learn of the passing of former manager Billy Bonds, MBE, aged 79. Billy oversaw 53 games for the Lions between 1997 and 1998, signing Neil Harris in the process, who would later become the club's all-time record goal scorer. Our thoughts are with Billy's family, friends and everyone at West Ham United. And this is Mill FC on Twitter, x.com. So yes, quite sad, but of course, he was a West Ham legend. But even though there was some, animosity towards him, especially because the results weren't too good, but the club was in bad shape at the time. Administration and all that stuff. He didn't seemingly get the Steve Lomas treatment straight from the off, and I think that's testament to what kind of man he was. Footballing legend really. And I must say, this is around the time when I started going back to Millwall. I started going regularly back to watching Millwall. And what do I mean by that? Well, I'm born in 1981. I was lucky enough to get to go to see some games at the Old Den, although I didn't really understand what that meant and have the mental ability to recall that. There are some things that I do remember, but it's not that clear because I was only 10, 11 years old when I went. And then, 1992 happened, the financial crash of 92. The economy wasn't doing too well. And, it affected my family quite seriously. And basically that was it for me. We couldn't really afford to go to Millwall anymore. Couldn't afford to do many things. So I had to wait until, I got a job and I started making my own money, and then I could spend it on things like going to Millwall. And this is around the time in 1997. That's when I started going back. I started going to the new ground. I'm not sure if I'd been to the new ground before. I can't even remember that, but I do remember, when Billy Bonds was the manager, I started going regularly again because I was now employed and had money to spend. And it was a different time, like comparing it to yesterday's game, full house, rocking crowd. I would go to games and I would be sitting in quite low in the block 2. Block 3 is always full of people. People want to be near the halfway line. That was always quite full. But no, you could sit quite low in block 2 and there would be 30 or 40 empty seats around you. It was very sparse. The crowds were very poor. And it's changed a lot since then. It has changed a lot. Let's move on to this. This is still talking about Billy Bonds. This is a fuller story. If you don't know who Billy Bonds is, we've got a little, I guess, an obituary to some purposes from the Evening Standard via MSN.com. So West Ham legend Billy Bonds dies aged 79. Obviously that is the headline. He is a West Ham legend. But previously, before, it wouldn't, in, let's say, the 50s, the 60s, it wasn't as much as a concern. players going between the clubs, going from West Ham to Millwall, or from, even, the other way. It wasn't that much of a problem, really. And then obviously the 1980s, the death of Ian Pratt at New Cross, and that kind of changed things, and it kind of turned everything up off the pitch to 11, and the rest, as they say, is history. But let's have a read of this. West Ham legend Billy Bonds has died at the age of 79, the club have announced. Bonds is the Hammers' all-time record appearance maker, having played 799 games for the club during 21 seasons between 1967 and 1988. So he is their Barry Kitchener. 799 games. 21 seasons. He replaced Bobby Moore as captain in 1974 and led West Ham to FA Cup glory the following season, later repeating the feat in 1980. Bonds, who started his career at Charlton, retired in 1988 and then moved into coaching under John Lyall. He became West Ham manager in 1990 after Lou Macari's exit, spending 4 years at the helm. He guided the club to the First Division in 1991 before sealing promotion back to the newly formed Premier League in 1993, following their relegation the previous year. After 27 years at the club, Bonds departed West Ham in 1994 and later managed rivals Millwall. He was voted West Ham's greatest ever player in 2018, and the East Stand of the West Ham's London Stadium was renamed the Billy Bonds Stand in 2019. Bonds, who was made an MBE for his services to football, was presented with West Ham's first Lifetime Achievement Award in 2013. And this is a quote from them. We're heartbroken to announce that we lost our beloved... Oh, this is from the Bonds family. We are heartbroken to announce that we lost our beloved dad today, said a statement from the Bonds family. He was devoted to his family and he was the most kind, loyal, selfless and loving person. Dad loved West Ham United and its wonderful supporters with all his heart and treasured every moment of his time at the club. He will always be in our hearts and eternally missed. We take comfort knowing that his legacy will live on forever. A period of appreciation will be held before kick-off ahead of West Ham's Premier League game against Liverpool on Sunday afternoon, with a full tribute to take place before West Ham's following home fixture against Aston Villa on December the 14th. In a heartfelt statement, West Ham hailed their courageous, inspirational, lion-hearted leader and one of the greatest competitors English football has ever seen. The club said, never one to crave the limelight, he was universally loved, respected and admired by his teammates, players and supporters, who will forever consider themselves Billy Bonds' Claret and Blue Army. So, yeah, there you go. Rest in peace, Billy Bonds. Today is St Andrew's Day, patron saint of Scotland, by the way. Obviously, because it's a Sunday, it will be observed tomorrow. But, let's just give thanks to Scotland for the great Scottish players and managers that have come through Millwall. At the moment, Alex Neil and his assistant Martin Canning, Alex Ray, Bob Hunter, all of them. Thank you so much, and God bless Scotland. Now that's it for the news. We're going to move on to the post-match stats from yesterday's game and have a little look at how we all did. Obviously, exciting game, and just remembered, obviously, yesterday, everyone, it was exciting. It was fantastic. It's probably mentioned it being one of the best games at the ground, the best league games, because obviously we do get up for the club, especially when it's the FA Cup against a Premier League team. But Billy Bonds passing away just remembers the Mother's Day Massacre game. That was, I believe, that was a Sunday 12:15 kickoff or something like that. But that's probably up there as probably the best, really. Although I think the performance, I'm not sure, but the Southampton game yesterday is up there. But maybe the Mother's Day game, considering who it was against and all of that, maybe meant a little bit more. And obviously, that was a league game as well. So this is from whoscored.com. Millwall created a high number of chances relative to their possession, were effective at creating goal scoring opportunities from the flanks and from set pieces. We gave away a lot of free kicks around the box. We had a large quantity of possession in our opponent's half, yes. Attacked through the middle, had a high shot frequency when in possession, and favoured crossing the ball. Indeed. And if you look on the right hand side, you can see the top performers by rating, by shots, by tackles, and by dribbles. And, you know, the man of the match, according to whoscored.com, the man of the moment, not in the 97th minute, Tristan Kramer, and Ivanovic behind him on 8.2. That's interesting. Probably because of maybe he did better on his aerial duels this game. And then Caleb Taylor with that goal, and Femi Aziz with his goal. They're both on 7.6. The number of shots, Amaku, Aziz, Ivanovic. The number of tackles. Now, obviously, I mentioned, the stupid way that they play, passing it around between a goalkeeper and the defenders and then back again. Probably one of the most stupid things to do at the 10 in front of a full house. You're just pissing off the home fans. You're riling them up, much as if one of our players had just crunched in on one of their players and got the crowd riled up. That was riling up the crowd. And you can see the player with the most tackles for Millwall, Emaku, one of the forward players. Dribbles, Kramer, Ivanovic, and Aziz. So, here we go. Attempts on goal, 21 to Millwall, 11 to Southampton, 13 to 7 from open play, 8 to 3 from set pieces, and 0 to 1 penalty. Yes, that's the thing. It wasn't just, that we won the game, the nature of the performance. It was a fantastic, we played very well. We outshot them 2 to 1. And we scored 3 goals from 21 shots, and that's a 14% conversion rate, which is standard for the league. And they got 2 goals from 11, which is 18% conversion rate. Or one of those shots was a point blank shot, otherwise known as a penalty kick. So there you go. We were mostly going down both wings, but slightly down the right. They were mostly going down their right. Shot directions, shot zones. So there you go. We're getting in the 6-yard box. Action zones. Look at this. Half of the game, basically, in their third of the pitch. What are you doing? 80% of the game, either in the middle or in their third of the pitch. Player positions. So, yeah, basically, kind of like a 3-4-3 or to some extent. Well, you can see Casper and all dropping back. And it was, so I thought at the time it was like a 4-1-4-1. Because, if they're going to play it out from the back, push it. You don't need people in midfield. You just push the forwards up. They can stay up there and do the running, which is what they did. Bangor Williams, who was 31. He's got a bit deeper, and Danny Kelly's number 16. This is the average position over the 90 minutes. So, obviously, once players get substituted or moved around, it looks a bit weird. But there you go. So let's move on to this, also from whoscored.com, the match events. Not really much going on in the first half. They just wasted so much time in the first half. And then second half they came out and they started to play a bit. They ended up getting the penalty, which was confusing to everyone. But, shirt pulling, but, that's a soft one to give away. Soft one to give, really. And, the guy sold it, like I said in yesterday's video. If someone's pulling you on your shirt and pulling you back, you don't drop forward. Like, you obviously, you get jerked back. They jerk you off. Missus. They jerk you off, don't they? So, obviously we made the subs, or they made one sub first, and the guy there, the sub that came on, he was the guy, I think it was the Callum Taylor goal. He didn't close him down, he turned his back on him when he took the shot. So I was like, thanks for that one, but, yeah, there you go. And you can see the subs all getting involved. Ballo coming on, he gets another assist. I think he's got the most assists for Millwall now. I think he's like up to 4 or 5, maybe 4 in the league. Langstaff came on, forever how much, you think he doesn't do much. He certainly helped create that final goal. Crammer got booked for that, did he? Oh yeah, he did get booked, yeah. For the celebration, he going into the crowd, was it? Something like that, I don't know, but bit petty because the game's gone. Like, as soon as the kickoff goes, the game's done. If you look at the club badges, top left, top right, you can see the average player ratings for each team. It's 6.96 for Millwall and 6.52 for Southampton. And as we just mentioned, Kramer, man of the match, 8.3. Ivanovic, 8.2. Quite a few of the Millwall team not getting decent scores, really. Cooper, Kelly and Bangor Williams. There might be a reason for that, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Obviously, Finazaz, 7.9. He got the goal for them. Clearance off the line, Manning, 7.2. Crocombe, 7.4. Crocombe, absolutely fantastic. I mean, here's the thing, like, Jensen, he's back in training soon, but I mean, I would leave it as it is, to be honest. I mean, personally, let Jensen get fully fit, and then we'll see how we go. But I mean, Crocombe's been absolutely fucking outstanding. Why change it if it ain't broken? Leave it alone. So let's have a look at these metrics then. Let's have a look. Obviously, we outshot them 2-1. So basically, because it was just their forward line that was getting involved. Azaz with 3, Armstrong 4, Robinson with 2. Ivanovic had 6, Amaku had 5, Aziz had 4. Bangor, Williams and Denor obviously didn't have a shot, an attempt on goal. Even McNamara. Everyone else did get involved, really. Possession 41-58, and what did they do with it? Harwood Bells, 9% of the match time he was on the ball, passing it to Wood and the keeper. Just wasting everyone's time. And then you look at us, Maku's got on the ball 3.1% of the match time. Aziz 3.1% of the match time. So that's what you want to get your attackers on the ball. You don't want to be fucking around with it at the back. Pass success percentage 75-82, and of course, 97% passing for the defender, 100% for the guy. Is he the guy who dived? He was the guy who dived, wasn't he? And here we go, Bangor Williams 100%. Denor 86, Kelly 80, Crammer 86, McNamara 88. That's insane when you consider that Crammer obviously is bombing down the wing and whipping some balls in, so they wouldn't have been. They were just balls being whipped in. He's still got a passing accuracy of 86%. Dribbles 8-6, aerials 120-9. So Ivanovic 1-7. So this is probably why he got a better score. Because their defenders between them, they won, 6? So Ivanovic, if it was all on him, he would have won 7 and lost 6. Which is a lot better than last week. Or the last game. Cooper with 6 and Taylor and Cram with 3. Tackles 13-9. And as mentioned, Maku with the most tackles in the match. Cooper didn't have a single tackle. and Azaz had 3 goals. Was Azaz on that side against Cooper? Cooper's 9-6, corners 9-6. These are the players who won the corners. Dispossessed 4-8. So there you go. Obviously, if they've got more possession, they got a higher chance of being dispossessed. So now let's move on to this, and this is basically what we've just seen, but a little bit clearer because it's in spreadsheet format. So as mentioned, Starman, Kramer 8.26, got an assist, got a goal. Ivanovic 8.23, which is interesting because these numbers don't look too good. 6 shots, 1 on target, 38% pass accuracy, and only 27 touches of the ball in 90 minutes. But he gets an 8.23. The 2 goal scorers, Caleb Taylor 7.61, Femi is 7.57. He only played 77 minutes. Then the keeper, fifth best player, 7.4. And then Amaku, 7.37. Then Denor, who also gets an assist, 7.18. And then we drop into high sixes with Danny Max 6.82, Ballo 6.7. He comes off the bench. He plays 20 minutes, gets an assist, gets number 9 on the list. Alfie Doughty, 6.61. Langstaff, 6.41. And then you've got Kelly, Cooper, Negley, Bangor Williams, and Zach Lovelace. So here's what I think why Danny Kelly and Bangor Williams got low scores. So Bangor Williams plays 72 minutes. And where's the other? Danny Kelly plays 87 minutes. Bangor Williams had 14 touches of the ball. Danny Kelly had 19 touches of the ball. So they were there because they were young lads to run around and Harry and Harris, the Southampton defence as they do these stupid balls and pass it around. That's why they were there. They weren't there to get on the ball and be creative. They were there to be disruptive. And that's what they did. But according to this website, that doesn't give you, obviously, it's hard to measure that. I think that's what they were doing. That's what their job was. And they ended up getting, low scores. But they only touched the ball 14 times, 19 times. When you consider that Alfie Doughty came on in the 73rd minute, let's say he replaced Bangor Williams. He's touched the ball twice as much as him in less time. So it's obviously he's a different position going down the wing, but that was clearly the plan for Kelly and Bangor Williams to chase down the Southampton defence as they pass it around. And Denor was, sitting back on the halfway line, just in case the ball went over the top. Doesn't look good, but they did a job. They did a job, and it fucked up their stats. But if you only look at stats, you're probably not the smartest guy in the world. So how many shots did we have? We had 21 shots, was it not? So we had 21 shots with these 8 different players. How many was on target? 7. So 7. That's not bad to get 3 goals from 7 shots on target. That's just under half. That's pretty decent. Did we get offside in that game? Probably not. I mean, they were just sitting so deep. No, we was offside twice. Defensively, so obviously we've seen the tackles. We know Mack was at the top. And then Crum and then Danny Mack and then Casper. What about the interceptions? Well, it's Danny Mack with 5, Casper with 5, and Crum with 2, Caleb Taylor with 2, Alfred Doughty with 2. Clearances, Jay Cooper with 5, Caleb Taylor with 4, Casper with 3, Danny Mack with 2, Crum with 2, Ivanovic with 2, Danny Kelly with 2. And then block shots, just the one, that's Danny Kelly. So there you go. And then we move on to this. This is from FBref. If you look in the middle between the club badges, you can see the XG, which is the expected goals based on the chances created. So from our 21 shots, we had 1.8 XG. They had 1.2 XG, which when you consider a penalty is 0.8 of an XG. The rest of their shots didn't amount up to much then. Did not amount up to much. So the game probably should have been 2-1, but it ended up being 3-2. If we scroll down, here again is the match events, the yellow cards, the subs, the goals and whatnot. Possession 42 to 58. Passing accuracy 71 to 80. And shots on target 6 of 21. Only 6 they gave us instead of 7. And for them it was 7 of 10. So they had 70% of their shots on target. We only had 29% of our shots on target. Our keeper made 6 of 7 saves, that's 85%. Their keeper made 3 of 6 saves, which is 50%. 1 yellow card to 2 yellow cards. Fouls 11 to 6, corners 9 to 6, crosses 38 to 14. Touches the ball 483 to 621. Tackles 13 to 9, interceptions 18 to 7, aerials 120 to 9, clearances 25 to 47. Wow. So they did more clearances. Offsides 2 to 3, goal kicks 1 to 13. That's our shots going. So that, wow, we only had 1 goal kick. They had 13. Throw-ins 17 to 20. And long balls 68 to 63. Yeah, I think if you're sitting in the cold blow lane lower, I mean, you're taking your life into your hands. Because every time we're attacking it, you'll probably be getting 5 or 6 balls coming in your mush. So, you know, you got to keep your head on a swivel. Don't look down at your phone if Millwall are attacking, because you might end up getting a ball in the face. Right, what are we going to look at first? Shot creating actions, which suggest, you know, the players that were involved in creating the shots. 2 offensive actions directly leading to a shot. And you can see Amaku, 5 of those. Aziz, 5. Kasper, 4. Kramer, 4. Ivanovic, 3. Basically, everyone's getting involved. Very good stuff. The passing accuracy, not that much passing really. To be honest, we're not really getting on the ball that much. And Maku, 26 attempts, 11 completed, 42%. Zach Lovelace, 1 of 3. Bangor Williams, 11 of 11, 100%. Interesting to see whether they were short passes or not. But, yeah. Alfie Doughty. He played 17 minutes, Alfie Doughty. He had 22 attempted passes, 20 completed, 90.9% completion rate. Not bad. Not bad at all. Cool, okay. Expected goals per player. Obviously, if you go down to the bottom, 1.8. And 0.7 of that was with Ivanovic. So yet again, he has 0.7 chances to score, and he doesn't. He doesn't score. Amaku with 0.4, Femi Aziz with 0.3, Negley 0.1, Kelly with 0.1, and Caleb Taylor 0.1. And obviously he did score, and he also did get the ball in the net as well. But that was chalked off. Passing. So Bangor Williams. Okay. So 7 of 7 short passing, 4 of 4 medium passing. That's 100%. 100%. Anything stand out here? Passing, in terms of yards, total distance in yards, progressive distance basically going towards the opponent's goal line. Edomu Maku, 259 yards of passing, 136 yards of that forwards. That is pretty fucking good. Pretty good. And you see Maku's passing, you know, the long ball, so the crossing, 10 of 3, 3 of 10, so that's 30%, so that fucked up his passing accuracy stat, but, you know, You got to try and whip it into space. What can you do? And here we go. Macaulay Langstaff, what a cameo. 3 minutes on the pitch, obviously extra. This only goes up to 90 minutes. It doesn't include extra time because that's a variable. It's not fixed. 46 yards of passing for Langstaff. 29 yards of that was forwards. Let's say 7 minutes, so 10 minutes on the pitch. Not bad at all. Negley's passing. It's okay. It's okay, really. Okay. Pass types. Yeah, okay. Defensive actions. So challenges. Number of dribblers tackled. So Southampton players trying to dribble past our players. Bangor Williams, he attempted one, he didn't get the tackle in. Kelly was 1 of 100%. Ooh, Casper was 0 for 3. 0, so they got past him 3 times. Oh dear. Danny Mack was 100%, and so was Taylor and Kramer. Possession. Now, dribbling against the Southampton players. So here we go. So this is probably what contributed to Ivanovic's score as well. 2 attempts to dribble past Southampton players, 2 successful. That's 100%. Amaka was 2 of 1. Femi Aziz was 2 of 5, so 40%. Danny Kelly was 0 for 1. Langstaff was 1 for 1. That was obviously the one that set up the goal. And Kramer was 2 of 2. Not bad. Carries of the ball. Oh, we got it. So here we go again. So Ivanovic, 90 minutes on the pitch. 90 minutes on the pitch. How many touches? He had 25 touches of the ball. And they were all live touches, so he wasn't involved in dead ball. Is that what that means? What does that mean? Okay, so it's just live touches. Doesn't include dead balls. But that's for everyone. 25 touches of ball in 90 minutes. He gets on the ball 4 times. 4 carries for 5 yards, 2 yards forward. So, you do wonder, how can he dribble past someone 2 times if he only goes 5 yards? That doesn't really make any sense. So maybe this is wrong. But here we go again. Amaku, outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. Sign him up. What are you waiting for? And here's the thing. Were there any Ireland scouts in the crowd? Because if he keeps going on like this, and if we keep going up the table, they got to be looking at him for the team, for the national team, which he hasn't played for yet. He's been in the under-21s. So he's 22 now. He's aged out the under-21s. He's got to be worth a look in the squad, maybe like an extended squad or something. Obviously, the next one isn't till March, is it? So he's got a long way. But I mean, fucking hell. If he keeps going like this between now and March, they've got to call him up. Surely just have a look at him. Especially if they got injuries to other players as well. 22 carries of the ball, 262 yards, 167 progressive distance towards the opponent's goal line. And you compare that to Femi Aziz because they've both got the same carries. Femi Aziz got on the ball 22 times, 174 yards of distance, 121 yards of that was progressive. Although do remember, Femi Aziz only played 77 minutes, Amaku played 87. So Amaku had 10 more minutes on the pitch to get to 22 carries of the ball. So I guess pound for pound, Femi Aziz probably just nudges that one. What else have we got? Again, Ballo, 9 carries of the ball, 16 yards, 6 yards forwards. Now, again, so looking at Daniel Kelly and Bangor Williams, it wasn't about getting on the ball. it was about disrupting the Southampton. Because Bangor Williams, 72 minutes on the pitch, only 6 carries of the ball, 23 yards distance, 8 yards towards the opponent's goal line. And then you got Daniel Kelly, 9 carries of the ball in 87 minutes, 61 yards distance, only 7 yards forwards. So they were there, literally put the young lads on with their fresh young legs to run around at the Southampton players, and get them spooked enough to make a mistake. Look at this, Langstaff, a man on a mission. 4 carries of the ball for 23 yards, 20 yards forwards. That's what you want. That is what you want. Absolutely fantastic little cameo from him to help us out on that winning goal. Fantastic stuff. So there you go. Miscellaneous stats. So here we go. A lot better from Ivanovic this time. Won 7 aerial duels and lost 4. So that's 63%. Femi Aziz 0 for 1. Turner Ballard 0 for 1. Langstaff 0 for 1. Cooper 6 and 1. Caleb Taylor 3 and 0. Crammer 3 and 0. So there you go. Let's have a look at the keeper. Shots on target against 8, goals against 2, save 6, save percentage 87.5. Post shot XG was 2.7. Obviously, one of them was a penalty kick, so that's going to bump it up. We only had 1 goal kick, and that was launched for 64 yards. Passes, 16 passes, 4 throws. 56.3 launch percentage. Average length of the pass is 42.2 yards. 12 crosses from the opponent into the penalty area. 0 coming out and getting it. Outside penalty area reactions 3. Average distance from the goal line 22 yards. Now, here we go. Let's have a look at all of these shots. So many shots. Wow. So this is the first half. Not a lot going on, comparatively, but you can see they have a shot saved off target from Amaku. Finazaz saved, 25 yards left footed. Off target again from Amaku. Jay Robinson saved. So that's our keepers made 3 saves from Southampton's first 3 shots. They had the shots. They were all on target. They all got saved. And then they have another shot, 13 minutes off target. Femi Aziz off target. Ivanovic blocked. That's the same move in the same minute. This as well. Daniel Kelly saved. It got deflected, didn't it? Got deflected by, was it Ivanovic? 0.08 to 0.59 got saved. And then Jay Robertson saved. So by now, our keeper's made 1, 2, 3, 4 saves from Southampton's first 5 shots. Not bad. And Amaku blocked, Ivanovic off target, and Armstrong off target. Half time happens. Then they come out and they decide to start playing properly. And none of that short bullshit. Amaku finally has a shot on target. And it's saved. 14 yards left footed. Caleb Taylor blocked header. And then Armstrong has a shot blocked. Then they have the penalty. 0.79 XG, and it goes up to 0.96, even though the goalkeeper did dive the right way. So there you go. Although I don't know, how is that 13 yards right footed when isn't the penalty spot 12 yards? So I don't understand that. And then he has to make another save. The first thing Crocombe does after conceding the penalty is he makes another save. Another save from Finazaz, 0.31. And then we go Ivanovic off target, Aziz off target, Ivanovic off target. So probably Southampton are thinking, we should probably just let them shoot because everything's going fucking off target. The poor fans behind the goal are getting hit, battered left, right, and centre from all the Millwall shots that are going here, there, and everywhere. I think they need to probably put up a net, for because the old St John's ambulance are probably fucking having a field day. They're doing loads of bandages from all the players getting hit, all the fans getting hit from the balls. But finally, we get the goal. He keeps it low on the ground, and that probably helps it being on target. Fetmier's is 0.42 goal, 22 yards left footed. And then we go back, and Maku off target. Caleb Taylor, wider goal, 4% chance XG, 4% XG, goes up to 0.26. And then, right after that, we all think that's the winning goal. The manager probably thinks it's the winning goal as well. He's running down the wing. But there's like at least 10 minutes left, maybe more. And then they have another go. They have a shot saved. And then they score again. The original shot gets saved. Could the keeper have done better? He reacted as he reacted. You can't really grab those shots. You have to palm them away. But the Millwall players don't react. They're just standing around. Guys, you got to swing a leg at that. You got to get the fuck out of there. And there was like 3 of them around, and none of them reacted. But Finn Azaz did react. And he put it in the net, 6 yards right-footed. They're saying it got deflected, so I'm not sure about that. And then Ivanovic saved from a header. Jake Cooper blocked from a header. And then Tristan Kramer right at the end, 97 minutes, 0.08 goes up to 0.55. A deflected volley from 5 yards, right-footed. And it looks like it goes through the defender's legs, gets the deflection there, which then takes it through the keeper's legs, which doesn't... as it's going through him, it goes onto the line. There's a guy on the line. He swings his boot at it and just deflects it into the goal. So, happy days, and the rest is history. But, I mean, if you look at the second half, so from the grey line down, Southampton had 4 shots in that second half. They had 6 in the first. They only had 4 shots in that second half. And they scored 2 goals. One of them was a penalty, and the other one was the goal. So other than that, I mean, what else? Not a lot going on there. But just a string of Millwall shots. So Southampton have a shot in the 64th minute, and they don't have another one till 23 minutes later in the 87th minute. It's just all Millwall. It's just boom, 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 boom. Obviously, the poor fans behind the goal getting absolutely battered, but we do eventually score. So there you go. Lovely jubbly. All's well that ends well. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.